Joshua, thanks for talking to me. I've got a couple of questions for you. Firstly, you gave us a case study on the quality of life project that you're doing in Canada, and you've just given a presentation on that to our international symposium audience. Could you give us a couple of pointers on that and the sort of questions people asked you and the sort of learning there might be from the UK on that?
Sure. Well, in Canada, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities developed what I think is a very innovative tool to measure, monitor, and report on social, economic, and environmental trends in Canada's largest cities and communities. We call this the Quality of Life Reporting System, the QOLRS for short. And we're about to release a report looking at 15-year trends in Canada's largest urban communities. This 15-year trend starts in 1991 and goes to 2006. So of course, in the early part of that time period, in the early 1990s, we experienced a fairly severe recession. And then following that, there was roughly a 10-year period of recovery. So that's the time period that this report's going to cover. And what we found is that Canada's most vulnerable populations, they barely managed to recover to where they had been prior to the 1990s recession. So even after 10 years of economic recovery, Canada's most vulnerable people are pretty much back to where they started. So we're using this report to illustrate to the government of Canada why they cannot do what they did in the 1990s, which is balance their budget on the backs of local government. So we think that's a very important lesson, and we're using the statistics and the trends in our quality of life study to make this point.
Thank you very much. And you gave a couple of examples in your presentation as well. Could you quickly recap on them?
Sure. There are a couple examples I used of innovative municipal services that I, in our opinion at FCM, we're saying these services make up part of Canada's social safety net. One example that I particularly like is from the city of Ottawa, which is the city that I call home. It's called a community pass program. And what it is, it's a transit pass that's available to low-income citizens of Ottawa that looks exactly the same as a regular transit pass. So it allows low-income citizens to access public transit at a starkly reduced cost. But the pass looks exactly the same as a regular transit pass. So you're able to ride the bus just like everybody else. Nobody would know that you're necessarily a low-income citizen. And what I said in my presentation is that it's these types of programs delivered by local government that bring people together, people from diverse economic, social backgrounds together in one place. So not only is it providing a service, it's creating a more open, inclusive society.
Okay, thanks. And you mentioned the impact of the 90s recession on Canada. How are you reflecting on that now, and what are the kind of the learning points from that you're trying to take on board?
Well, in Canada, most municipal revenue comes from the property tax base, which is a fairly stable revenue base. So thankfully, municipalities in Canada are not necessarily experiencing shrinking revenue base as a result of the recession. What we are seeing is that municipal services are becoming more and more important. For example, library usage is up, transit usage is up. So we're using, again, the quality of life reporting system to track these trends, to demonstrate to the federal government, the government of Canada, the importance of municipal services and why transfer payments to local government cannot be cut back.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.